I was never a political artist until, like I said, like the last 5 or 6 years.
We're at a point where, the world we're committed to a different future. That's not going to change. I mean, the question is, how bad is it going to get?
When I was younger, I thought everything would always be on sort of an upward track. Socially, we were always going to get nicer to each other because we knew better, and environmentally, we were going to keep things cleaner because we knew better. It was kind of disappointing to find out that wasn't true.
There is a certain thing that art can do, I think, and I think scientists are aware of that there has to be some other way to open up the public to some kind of understanding.
I don't feel that's the role of art at all, to come up with answers, because then it's boring. If you just spark a question in somebody, especially if it's a question that sparks self-examination, that's a good result.
Art has the capacity to really move someone on a very deep and subjective level, and I would hope that would happen. And also that they come away asking themselves certain questions about what does it mean. When you read a great poem, the answer isn't given, but there's something there, but you don't quite know what it is. That, for me, is what I would like to impart. I'm Philip Govedare, painter, and this is my studio. Everything starts here at the palette, where I mix paint, which actually a lot of these pigments actually are earth pigments. They come right out of the earth and are just mixed with oil. I like the primitive nature of the oil medium because it's really 15th century technology, but it doesn't limit the expression. And when people look at my paintings, I'd like them to not have an answer, but really, hopefully the paintings will pose questions. What is our relationship to nature and the natural world? What are we doing? How is it affecting, the earth? I really would like my paintings to be beautiful. I would like them to be a celebration. I would like them of beauty. I'd like them to inspire wonder on some level. In a way, it's almost an homage to the natural world on some level, and the kind of things that we experience in nature that are so, so precious. But I think also I can see something that has been altered and even defiled in a certain way and find that beautiful. I want these things to be little puzzles that you enter into and wonder, what is that? Like, what's going on here? There's a kind of thing which is a natural sort of, looks like water, and then it's formed in some way, and maybe it's a dam, or maybe it's agriculture, or maybe it's mining, or maybe it's, whatever it happens to be. So these things, I do want these things to elicit a certain kind of questioning of what these are and what they mean in relation to what our relationship is to the natural world and our impact on restructuring it. I think that anything that takes people out of their routine and their comfort zone and confronts them with a possibility, whether it be negative or positive. In my case, I'd really like it to be positive. I would like it to be inspirational on some level, and maybe consider and think about what we're doing, what we value. That's really, what do we value in this world? What is our place? By taking this really distant perspective, it's humbling in a way, and it gives this sense of wonder, I think, of looking and realizing not only how small we are, but how vulnerable we are.
I'm Natalie Niblack. I've been a practicing artist since the late 80s. I went to art school in Seattle at School of Visual Concepts. And then I went to graduate school in the early 90s at Edinburgh College of Art in Edinburgh, Scotland. If the imagery moves them in some direction or another, it's good. But that's not why I paint it. I paint it because I'm pissed off. And I have to do it. I mean, that sounds trite, because everybody says stuff like that, but it's true. I don't think I could do anything else and remain a stable and sane human being. You just go through middle America, you see no change. No change in behavior, zero change. Of course, this is really superficial, right? There probably is change. But it's not enough. Even if everybody was changing dramatically, it would not be enough. We've known this for so long, and nobody has done shit. Nothing real. Nothing substantive, and it's just worse. I mean, what else can I do? It's the one thing that I can do in this world is to make art. And if I could scare the shit out of somebody with a painting, good. I don't want your hope. I don't want your prayers. I don't want that shit. I want you to be scared, and I want you to get out there and do something about this. You look around and everything, there's this incredible natural beauty, but you know that it is got a time limit. If somebody wants a more meditative, thoughtful approach to climate change, they're not going to get it from me.
My name's Patty Bowman. I didn't become a painter immediately. I have a microbiology degree with a minor in fine arts, so I worked in a science lab for a while and came to art only about 20 years ago. I think when I started introducing things that were either political or environmental, that I really thought it was going to do that. It was going to be able to have a conversation with someone who had different beliefs than me, and that things could be said in a way that a person could come to a new understanding over time. And I'm not sure that's true anymore. I really honestly feel like it's so hard for someone to just fall into seeing a piece of art. You have to really seek it out. So it's such a secluded world that I think it really only operates as a way to deeply connect with people who probably have a common mindset. But I think that's important too, the whole thing of trying to remain optimistic. With something like climate change, I don't even worry about whether people's minds are going to change now. The proportion is so much that you don't need every single person to believe it. Some people still say the Earth's flat. Some people are going to do that. So once you get past the 80% mark, you don't need to convert people anymore. You need to move on and start acting. So I feel like it's almost more important to have that connection and help each other move toward action. But I do think too, if they do change their minds, I feel like art at least can help people move into that space in sort of a non-threatening way. It's a source of information that waits for you and that lets you come to it with what you have and take from it what you're ready to take.
So on this trip, we drove through where the car fire was. Just that experience of I'm going to set McDonald's on fire when I get home. Then I'm going to do 7-Eleven and Walmart. These big faceless corporations that could do something. All these companies that make products. They could do something. They could have a conscience. All the information is there in their face and they don't do shit. So I'm setting them on fire. It's our own fault. I'm not just blaming them. It's my fault too. How willing are all of us to change drastically, completely, totally? It's a collective guilt. We chose this, we did this, and now we're doing nothing about it. So this is what's going to happen.
This is something we have to deal with immediately and in a pretty dramatic fashion.
If you're in a position where you can do anything, you should do something, because I think if you look back at history, it does tell you that any vulnerability is shared vulnerability.